Hello, everyone. My name is Sanjay Jenkins with Replo, and I am very excited for this CRO teardown with Jyoti Malik of Blue Bagels. Jyoti, how are you? Welcome back to the Replo events. Excited to do this teardown with you. How you been?
Hey Sanjay, doing great. How have you been? It's been a
I've been
while,
good.
but yes, at both ends we have been
Yeah,
juggling.
yeah. We've been a bit busy, but I'm glad we got to get these back on the calendar. We're gonna make
Right.
this a regular thing. Jyoti, before we get really deep in the CRO teardown, can you give us like the big the quick TLDR on who you are, what your company does, just so we have that context going in. We might have some new folks jumping on today.
Sure. So I'm the founder of a CRO agency, Blue Bagels. We set everything alongside on the agency side in the last 2.5 years. But having said that, I have been doing CRO and e-commerce growth for the last 10 years. I have worked at both agency side and brand side, so I understand what level of gaps and to bridge those, what level of transparency and the skill set is required. So that's why I finally moved down to building my own agency. I
Nice.
love working with D2C brands, and over the last 2.5 years, we have worked with almost more than 80 plus brands now and done tons of user research, tons of A/B testing, tons of landing pages, everything e-commerce growth.
Nice. Just for the sake of the audience, we did one of these events not that long ago, and the people in the audience, they were able to bring up their sites, they asked questions, and then they had like homework essentially. Hey, go do this, make these adjustments that Jody provided. And I talked to one of the guests recently, and he was able to implement everything, and they've since used all of the recommendations that Jody provided in probably like 5 or 6 page variations. I'm talking about Blake Umlauf, if you remember Blake, for Rotten, the gummy worm company, which is pretty cool. So it's really great to see like people actually take your advice, use it. That's our hope for today, is that we're able to go through any sites that people that have registered for the event have provided, or anyone in if you're in the comments right now, go ahead and drop in a URL for us to take a look at. If not, we'll go to the main list. So can you give me just like the quick and dirty on what your process typically looks like when you're doing one of these Zero rodeos, or Zero teardowns rather?
So the first and the foremost point that we want to understand is what is the main traffic driving landing page of your website, and if you have already identified a problem at your end, like what is your key business problem? Is it conversion rate? Is it for a specific audience segment? Is it really average order value, some bundling, or something else altogether? So with that context in place, then we dive into the heuristic evaluation and combine that with our experience of working with so many brands. We have also realized that there are certain patterns through which a user behaves on the website, and if those patterns looks broken on your respective websites today, then we highlight those, call out those, and we look at multiple aspects of the website from there on: the design clarity, the copy clarity, the user experience in itself, if the elements of motivations are present enough, if the elements of distractions or frictions are there which can be removed. So we are going to cover all those aspects.
Awesome. I'm really excited for you to run this. We have a site to look at, and it's from Liam, and it's just on the basic Shopify. Hope to get them on Replo. Hopefully, we'll have some great things by the end of this to share.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. And Liam, if you could tell me, is homepage your highest traffic driving landing page?
Organically, yeah, he says organically, yes. Homepage is the highest.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to pull out actually the mobile website because I assume your most of your traffic is on the mobile devices, right? So let's look at this on the with the mobile lens. Okay, so curls are more than hair, they are an attitude. Amazing. So this is the value proposition which really looks great. Start your journey to curl confidence today. Shop now. All right. So as a user who might not be aware of Curlyco, landing here organically or through ads, this is what is the cover of the book is, right? This is what is going to have an impression on me as a user. to make a decision if I want to further pursue, go down into the funnel or not. Now, with this in mind, I really like the value proposition. I really like the image also, which is super, super complementary to what you're writing here. One little thing that is coming across as a little too loud as a user is this big shop now button. I would suggest that similar to your content that you have in here, also use a benefit oriented CTA copy in the on the button as well. So this is for the hero section that I would suggest. One more thing that is coming across as a little too ambiguous for me as a user is, okay, how part, right? The curl confidence, how? Is it, are you going to pitch me a product? Is it a service? What is it really, right? So maybe you can tweak the headline to include that clarity as well. As a user, I want to understand as soon as I land onto your website if I'm able to trust this website, is it really for me and what it does, right? So the curly with the image part, it is super clear that it is for people with curly hair. That is great. How part and the what part can be made more clear, like I told you, with the inclusion of more clearer copy in the CTA and maybe inclusion of the benefit side here as well, right? So is it a product or service, or like let's make it more clear. So this is one. All right, let's move down our range. Okay, so only after scrolling down I'm getting to see that there are products, right? Now, basis our research that we have done for so many brands, very few people are going to scroll down your pages, which is why having this clarity, maybe you can tweak the entire hero section in a way that this little section, the range section, is also visible somehow in the first fold itself. It will serve the purpose, right? But the idea should be to give some clarity in terms of what all it is.
I mean, it could be as simple as like just using that image right there where it says bring back your bounce on the hero section, right? It could be just a simple swap.
Exactly, it could be a simple swap as well, right? Absolutely. Then let's go down. This is a lot of white space, I would say. And this marquee is, people have very less attention span. Maybe increase the speed of it. Maybe the design can be for sure compressed in a manner that people are able to get these value proposition, the benefits that no sulfates and all of these come together. People, there are two types of users usually. Most of them are skimmers. Very few are readers or diggers, right? We have to present the content in a way that it caters to both the type of audiences. So this is not skim friendly, can definitely be improved here. Then of course, you're talking about the type of calls. This is amazing. Who we are. This is great. I would suggest that this aspect here about the founder, if your website traffic supports A/B testing, you can test it by moving this section further up. It is very, very relatable. Founder herself is having curly hair and all the products, there is a high resonance in terms that the founder herself is using these products. What are their credentials? It is going to be make it, it will make the brand super, super relatable. So this is amazing. Then the same comment for this as well, not skippable enough. So anyways, users are not going to go till the end of your page. Most people are definitely must be clicking on this little hamburger menu, right? And we have seen this time and again. This is one of the highest interacted element on any of the e-commerce websites. So this is the real state which you can transform and use it more creatively to convey your, again, value proposition, why someone should be buying from you, and to clearly showcase the catalog of the products that you're offering. So for example, right now, as soon as I click on the hamburger menu, it is a vanilla hamburger. It is not even showing me the exposed categories, etc., that you guys are selling. But I'm sure the assumption would be that you are showcasing that down the home page. But not every user journey is same. People navigate down to your other funnel pages through different routes. So make this exposed. You add visual elements here so that it is super clear and it is not adding on to the cognitive load. And then you can also add, maybe let's say, little descriptors about why to choose curly co, right? One aspect is, of course, that everybody knows, and especially people with the curly hair, is that the maintenance of curly hair is not as simple or similar to people with not who they don't have curly hairs, people with straight hairs, right? So all of those aspects could also be highlighted in utilization of this real estate. Maybe you can add a little testimonial here or the value proposition here, that how you really understand what curly hair needs for maintenance and for improvement of the textures, etc. All right, I'm moving ahead. Okay, so we reach the collection pages. This is a great banner here, natural curls with our curly refining heroes. This is great. What it also is doing is pushing down the product's presence down a fold. Maybe you can test by removing this altogether and making the filter sort of a thing more prominent. Not that this is definitely going to work for you, but you can definitely see different formats of it. Maybe remove it altogether, test if it improves your product page visits from this route. Maybe make it more square or horizontal, not occupying too much of a space, and then see if it is improving anything or not. More than that, what I would suggest is highlight again that your ingredients are clean, there are no sulfates, no nasties aspects of it, right? So all of these aspects can be highlighted here in an icon format or something like that, because it is not sufficient for us to be talking about these things only at one place on the website. Again, people are skimming. They need to be reminded of the good things about your brand, why they should be buying from you today, at all the available touch points as well as
Over and over again. Yeah, people, it's you think you say it once, people understand, but you really do have to continue to reinforce. They need to see it 7, 8, 10 times before it's really baked into them.
exactly. Moving ahead into your list here, I really like how you have incorporated the lifestyle images here, which is great. One thing, if I want to choose a product where I'm getting lost, is that for all the products I'm looking at, good for all our curlies, right? But then how do I really decide which product do I need? I see that these are actually subcategories: shampoo, conditioner, mousse, cream, gel, mask, etc. But then it would also be beneficial if you also include that, okay, maybe people can complete their entire hair care routine from this listing page, right? Starting from shampooing to conditioning to mask and everything else, gel and all together. That one thing could be highlighted maybe. Or here in the little descriptors itself, maybe you can talk more about, okay, this covers the step 3 of your hair care routine, or if there is something special about your shampoo and how it really helps the curly hair. So this can definitely help. You can see if this little button, I'm sure this must be adding to the cart, right? Maybe you can also test by having a traditional add to cart button here to see if this is more intuitive or if that leads to more conversions. One more thing that you could actually try. So far, if people are entering from home page to listing page, I have not been able to get a lot of information about your product. So what is the point of me having this add to cart CTA here, right? It will help me if I'm able to scroll through other product images from this listing page itself to make a decision that, okay, yes, I want to add this product to the cart from this stage itself without going further down into the funnel. So what you can do is enable the feature wherein people can actually scroll through other product images which you might be having for this product through the listing itself. They will be able to get a lot more information at this stage itself to make a conscious choice that, okay, this is the product I want to further know about, or it is enough for me to add to cart right from this place. All right, moving ahead. Let's say I want to further know about this shampoo and I want to go further down. This is the first fold I'm looking at. Again, as a pattern and as a behavior, we have seen that this is the portion that people are going to engage with a lot, skimming through your product image gallery. So I see that you have different images here. All right. One thing that I'm really missing as a user, I'm not sure how these images are actually serving the different purposes, what answers it is giving to me, right? This this actually is giving me an idea, okay, how big a bottle is if I hold it. This is not really giving me a lot of value as a user. It tells me about the thickness, the texture maybe. It tells me about the how much it lathers, etc. But is it answering all of my user, all of the users' question when they want to when they are in the consideration phase here? Maybe not. What you could include more maybe is add some infographic related images, which are again telling you about how clean the product is, sulfate free, and all of that. Maybe you can add a bit of a video of how to use it, maybe, and how long it takes to lather and all of that. Those questions generally women have, right? And what length of hair, how much to use. And so basically, you can go through all the questions that people might be asking your customer support team or in your reviews, maybe, and in try to answer those things through your product image gallery. It would really help. Again, this is on the premise that people are not going to go through end to end of your website to find answers for themselves. We need to reduce all of the possible frictions that your website is having right now. So, this is on the first fold itself, right? Then moving down, we are looking at a little description which is talking about the benefit, creamy, nourishing, moisture, definition, bounds. Okay, this is great. Add to cart here, this button here could be made more prominent. And maybe if there are no variants of the product, then how about making it sticky, right? It will always be on the face of the user. Even when they are scrolling down to find more information, the key primary call to action will be there in front of them. This perfect for all our curlies and helps to refresh and invigorate. I would suggest that move this up because this is something which can easily go unnoticed. So this is looking very, very important and might really help to include this closer to the product images itself. And when I was talking about on the listing page to include more information, maybe this is something which you can also move to your listing pages to really help people choose. Okay, there are different type of curly hairs, of course. There are different purposes of each product, yes. So this information can help them really narrow down to the desired product. So this is great.
Jyoti, quick question for you. When you're going through these, and when you're doing builds and optimizations for your clients, how often do you use the sticky add to cart button? I'm seeing it a lot more often. I'm really glad. It's one of those great. You can actually build one in Replo on your product pages and have it sticky. So it's I'm happy to see it being used more often. But I'm curious, like, do you find yourself kind of defaulting to sticky add to cart buttons these days?
I won't say that we are defaulting to sticky add to cart button these days, Sanjay. We have tested it time and again, and surprisingly, although it looks like an obvious improvement, but for some of our client categories, we have also seen that they actually lead to lesser add to carts than when it was not sticky.
Okay.
So testing is always a good idea, and of course we have to also see, okay, what if the numbers are going down, then what are the possibilities there?
Hmm.
Then on that premise, you can also then look at how that sticky add to cart could be further improvised. For example,
Hmm.
if there are variants, then of course making just plain sticky add to cart is not going to make sense because the person has to be able to select the choice of variant first, right? In that case, maybe the sticky add to cart could be combined with the variants, so both the things can be made sticky.
Sure.
That could be one idea. Second could be throwing an error message if someone has not chosen anything. So with our failed tests also, we have learned a lot in terms of why the sticky simple add to cart worked or did not work, and what further can be done there to improve that.
Got it. One of the questions in the chat, would you ever use a sticky add to cart button on a landing page? So obviously we're looking at a product page right now.
Mhm.
Um, from my experience, yes. One of the things you can do in Replo is you could actually, which you just mentioned about the variant selector, right? You can actually have that sticky add to cart just go back up to the product buy box, whether it's on a landing page or PDP. But I would love to hear your opinion on, would you ever use a sticky add to cart button on a landing page, let's say for ad acquisition?
Absolutely, yes, yes, no doubt about that. And like I said, you have to see what format of the sticky CTA works for you. But definitely,
Got it. Okay.
especially landing page is going to have much more information. It is going to be much more editorial sort of in terms of the design and everything. It will be very helpful.
Got it. And again, one of the things Jolie has mentioned time and again is the importance of testing. There is no one shoe that fits every business, and the importance of doing these teardowns and being able to swap things out quickly, like using a tool like Replo, is you're able to test and figure out what works best for you. The point here is there are a lot of different things that could work, and we're trying to give you the framework on how to go about testing every little element to improve conversion rate. You get a 10% bump here, a 20% bump here. Overall, you raise your conversion rates on your landing pages, your product pages, your collection pages. That's what makes the entire business get better over time, is this consistent iteration. And this is the framework Jyoti's going through to help you do that. So yeah, I'll let you keep rocking. This is great.
All right. So then we were below the add to cart information here. So all the accordions that you have in here, right? So what I see, the tell me more accordion is actually screaming benefits. And this is an amazingly written copy, I think. And this could be actually pulled out and be replaced from something here, or this can be put together in a different format so that these benefits are super visible for the user as well. It is very easy for someone to be ignoring this section, at this point of time. Either make this accordion section itself more visually appealing, add little icons here. Instead of tell me more, make it more conversational. For example, okay, what will I get out of it? For example, how my curls are going to transform after the usage of this shampoo, something like that. So those little micro copies can really help increase the click-through rate of these accordions. But this information right here is very, very important, and this is amazingly present. What you can do is the information that you have in here in visual, you have added visuals here, copy, a different typography, play you have made here. The same thing you can also adapt in here as well so that it is skimmable. Right now, people have to really put aside their entire focus on this one and then read through, okay, what all it is saying, right? So in that sense, typography play here as well could lead to a better information gathering. Same goes for this one, how to use. I think this section and the little gif that you have added here could be combined, and maybe you can really show the steps in there. So that will be important. Ingredients, I know you have mentioned below as well. So that was great for the use of images. Scent, orange, zesty citrus. I think this could, this is my hypothesis right now. And of course, I don't have the data, but this could be a very important factor for the users to know on the top itself when they are considering this product, right? People are actually generally conscious about what the smell of the cosmetic product is. So this can also be pulled out. All right. And then what else we have? Shipping and returns, free shipping. All right. In 1 to 2 days, 2 to 5 days. I think this information is also something which you can transform in the form of icons or more, convert it more visual so that it is super skimmable, because the other information that you have present in here, the ingredients and all of this, is present super below on the page, right? After 6 8 folds on the page, your reviews, your these all of this information. So maybe combine with accordion so that it doesn't get a lot for the user, so that it gets missed actually by the user. One more thing that I have seen, for which we are actually defaulting to these days, Sanjay and everybody, is to have anchors to most important sections of the product page which are present somewhere below. Might get missed, probability of that high is high. So what we have started doing is we add anchors around here on the first fold, which leads people to the important sections, for example here, or the facts, or why is it effective, or stuff like that. In addition to that, what we have started also doing is to have like a secondary navigation here, an exposed bar here with multiple sections. So, for example, one section could be how to use, one section could be clean ingredients, one section could be about what the best benefits for my girls, something like that. Then policies, shipping and returning policies, etc. And each of those anchors go to the respective section. In that way, user wouldn't have to really struggle a lot in finding that information. It can be made sticky. Wherever they are, they can just click on those little tabs and land onto that respective section.
One of the
That
great things about Replo is you can do that very easily. You just pop in, you build a container, pop in the little links, the text boxes, and there is an interaction. So any element in Replo you can have, add an interaction. It could be add to cart, clearing cart, whatever. But we have a scroll to section interaction, and that's like a perfect way to actually deploy the anchor strategy that Jody just covered. Is using the scrolled interaction, have it up there, make that element sticky, make it really easy. That's a great idea. That's not something that I've ever done. That's something I will start doing for the builds that I do for myself. So that's awesome.
we have tested this time and again, and 90% of the time, this test has won almost all the time.
One
So
clarification question that came up in the chat is, would that replace like the breadcrumbs? So like the nav, okay, it
no,
would
no,
replace it.
no need to replace the breadcrumbs. It can be made sticky, and breadcrumbs can still be there wherever they are above the usual. It is usually closer to your product title or on top of the product images, right? It's completely fine to be there. I understand it is very important for SEO purposes. Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, cool.
Okay, so finally, let's decide to add this product to the cart and see how the cart is appearing. This is amazing. I really love this progress bar. Has helped a lot of the clients to really up their average order value with this strategy. This is great. More for your girls. This is amazing. Okay, now here as well. I'm sure you must already be experiencing a high cart abandonment, right? Now, why that must be happening? Because people are still not convinced or still have some unanswered questions. So, understand or inject here from your analysis, whatever your customer support team does, whatever your customers say, your visitors say why they're abandoning, include the key aspects of the risk-free buying on the cart as well. Is there a guarantee warranty you are sharing? You mentioned somewhere that okay, it is shippable in 1-2 days within a certain region and in 2 to 5 days for the rest of the Europe or something like that, right? Those aspects or the other areas which you think are really important for anybody new to know about the brand before buying can be added in this real estate to motivate the user further and remove their hesitation. In the hero section, I remember you mentioned that okay, 4,500 plus customers. Maybe highlight that here again that you are going to be a part of that community of 4,500 plus customers of the curly hair community who is already loving your product or something like that. So all of those things you can add here. Checkout is risk free, is super secure. You can highlight here. You can also talk about what type of payment methods you are adapting. You can also test by actually directly pulling out the PayPal or the most used payment methods here on the cart itself so that it becomes one click directly from the cart and not when someone reaches to the checkout stage. So all of these things you can do on the cart as well. One little thing that you can also do is maybe increase the size of the image here because the image is not super clear to really make it clear for the user that yes, it is the shampoo that I chose earlier, right? So sometimes we have also seen that having an unclear image at the card section also triggers some doubts in the mind of the users, and then they go back to see okay what was the product, they reconfigure it, etc., etc. So maybe you can test that aspect also out, wherein it is clear that it is the shampoo which has been added here, irrespective of having the title here. So yeah. Then further moving to the checkout here, if it is a basic Shopify, unfortunately you won't be able to edit it a lot. But at this point of time, what I can suggest is that this banner can be further optimized rather than having this, the banner is huge, the logo is huge, The banner is there, which is kind of overlapping. So maybe this banner can be optimized and further emphasize on the value propositions for which someone should be buying. Again, highlighting on the risk-free elements or any other area that you think is important for the users, for which they are going to trust you and are not going to hesitate for making that 40 euros purchase today.
Nice. So for the sake of time, is it cool if we jump to could you mind like giving like the quick recap on Curlyco and then we switch over to another brand?
Sure. So homepage, the hero section needs to have more clarity in terms of what the product is, what is being offered, a clear CTA, a benefit-driven CTA, and not shop now. Better utilization of the navigation real estate with more visuals, with more descriptors, maybe addition of value propositions on the navigation area as well. Um, the founder story on the homepage could be brought up closer to the hero section so that it is more relatable. On the listing page, test between no banner having icons as value propositions, a smaller banner, and no banner altogether. Then on the listing page itself, try having more benefits or more suitable for like these things below each of the product tiles. On the product tiles itself, try having a carousel which people can see from the product images itself right on the collection page, so that if they are happy with the choice, they can directly add to the cart from there itself. Then on the product pages, inclusion of anchors or a sticky secondary navigation bar which can take people to the different sections on the product page itself. That was one. Making the accordion section more visually appealing and more balanced in terms of design and content clarity. Um, then renaming, maybe tweaking the tell me more copy and the other copies to be more conversational and pulling that out so that it is super loud on the benefits of it, which is hidden under the tell me more section. So yeah. And on the cart, we talked about removing hesitations by included more assurances so that people move ahead. And on the checkout, change of the banners and optimizing it. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, Liam said that he's going to rebuild a lot of the stuff in Replo and test all this. Liam, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, and we can make sure that you get everything sorted beautifully inside of Replo. We're really excited to see these changes come to life. Joe, the next site I dropped in the chat, but we've got the main website and the PDP that they wanted you to take a look at. So we can jump to that when you're ready.
All right. So I'll start with the homepage, or you
Yeah,
want me to?
Let's start with the homepage first, and then we can go roll into the PDP after that.
Someone is landing here for the first time, not knowing what Moz is about. So let's see what we are showing here. We are showing all the offerings, the products. Covers are very prominent for sure. Upgrade your tech with most great protection and functionality. All right. This is all amazing. I think in terms of design, more balance can be created when it comes to the size of the title and the subtitle, I think. What I would suggest is that although this might be working out great for you, but a little tweak which could actually um, show the value super clearly is maybe moving the title and subtitle on top of the image so that it goes complementary, right? At this point of time, it might happen that this image, although it is clear that it is about covers, etc., but the value proposition of that, it is most great protection and functionality, and it is about upgrading your tech. This is coming after a split second once someone is done skimming through this image, right? So no, both the things are not happening at the same time for sure. So maybe once, if these things are on top, they skim through it, get a quick idea of what it is about, and then see the image, which complements it really well. So this is my first level thought after looking at this. Same thing here as well. Maybe shop now can be tweaked, and maybe this can become more bold with a more benefit oriented CTA here. In terms of image, what I could suggest is that maybe the idea here is that, okay, this phone is falling and we are talking about the phone cover which protects it from falling and stuff like that. So instead of showing like everything in one image, what you could also test with is whatever your hero product is. If it is the phone cases, then maybe show the utility of it as well, that it can maybe show a floor, or that the phone is falling, or maybe through a gif or a video as well, and that it is able to absorb all the shocks and the phone is intact even after the falls because of the cases provided by Moose, right? Something like that could do wonders because you will be able to see the product in action there. So this can be great for the hero section here. Here phone cases. Okay, so this is amazing. You are able to show all the offerings in little space. What I would suggest is maybe make them even smaller, or even if not, then even these tiles could be moved upwards if you tweak the titles here in a way that all this section is compressed a little. These tiles can be moved in the first fold itself. We have tested this time and again. Moving this above the hero section actually gives the idea to the user in a split second that what all this website is offering. So what you're trying to achieve through this hero banner, you'll be able to do with these style images, which could be presented on top of the hero banner or maybe below the hero banner as well in a scrollable format. And then your hero banner could really talk about and focus on your hero product or your campaign or your marketing campaign, showing the use case of it. So this is my impression of the first fold here. Um, Moving ahead, then we have the legibility of the text and the images can be improved here for sure. Uh,
Especially for something like that. If I mean, a value proposition like 50% of profits going to War Child, I mean, that's a pretty big collab, I would say, and I think it's like I'm sure it's very topical and very beneficial. So improving the legibility will have a significant impact, and it could just be as simple as changing the image that's being used, just to improve the legibility. But sometimes it could be just rearranging the content, like making that container structured a little differently to where the text is actually separate from the image itself, so you're still, showing both in kind of entirety. Again, and that's something that we have a lot of templates in Replo that allow you to pull this off, but yeah, especially when you have something as important as that, definitely make sure that the text is legible across all device types.
exactly. And then we have made for Apple, most advanced wireless charging ecosystem yet, combining our own magnetic expertise. This is amazing. Intra-lock, car mounts. So I believe this section is very important because it is also highlighting how this is different from everything else out there in the market. I would suggest that this section can go somewhere here above this because it is really talking about how you guys are doing things differently. So this is great. Your review, etc. Okay, people are not going to go further down. So let's see. Navigation. People are choosing this. I love this already. Visual elements are present to complement the category name as well. So this is amazingly done. I really like it. One little change that you could do maybe instead of making the newsletter sign up so prominent, have it here as well, but optimize in a way that some white space is left in which you can also talk about other areas, or maybe some elements which can increase the trust in the user's mind for most, right? So why to trust? Are there 100,000 customers already? Or is there a claim that you can make that no matter what the height of the fall is, that your phone will be protected or something like that can be added in here again, because this is a very important touch point. People not only use navigation to reach to a certain product here, but also to actually, because they are looking at this entire screen right now, right? So if they get to see those little things, it registers in their mind and they will be subconsciously trusting it even when they are further going ahead in the journey. So this is about the navigation. Let's see the product page that you shared now. So this is the product page that you provided. Limitless MagSafe compatible RF per phone. Okay. So as a user, if I'm new and if I have, however, I have landed here, I think that this title is making is not super clear to me. I would rather suggest that make a a core benefit as the title of your product page. The title of the product right now is super technical and may not be useful for a layman like me, for example, right? I don't understand what aramid is, what fiber is in general, what is MagSafe compatible and all that. I don't understand that. As a user, I would really be inclined towards reading more about this product is when I get to see a very relatable use case. This right here would be my hero for utilization here, right? Protect your phone from extreme and everyday drop damage. This is amazingly put here, impact absorbing air shock or something like that. So understand what a layman would understand if they land onto this page, even if they are coming here from a home page or directly landing here through your ads. But the first fold itself should be super clear to them and not very technical, right? So this, if I read on top, will help me that, okay, this is something, right? And again, then this image where we are showing the product falling, which we talked about on the homepage as well. Some scenario of this or the variant of this, or maybe this entire video could become your first image here, right, as an introduction to the this specific product and the quality of it. This video in itself is actually answering a lot of things. The quality of it, it's clearly showing the technology behind it. It is also showing maybe in a lot of areas the details about the product as well when you're zooming in here, right? So a lot of questions are being answered here, and this section could go very well on the first fold in terms of your title and your first image that you're using in the product image gallery. So this is what is most important on this section, I believe. Then looking at your product image gallery, okay, someone holding it. All right, we are showing the options, etc. The product image gallery needs more work to answer all the questions that users might be having in terms of the thickness, the quality, the durability, right? What level of shock it can withstand, etc. Utilize infographics as much as possible. This is sort of a technical product, and if it is different from what is there in the market, then show it, right? Don't tell, also show. So this is what you can do here. In terms of variants, this is great. What you could really test is maybe with these colors, walnut color, leather color, bamboo color, actually show the case, a little case swatch in here rather than the little circle. It will also make people will be able to see the product right here before they would want to go up and see the details of a different colored case, for example. All right, so this basically. So this shouldn't happen. People can see, okay, how the walnut colored case is looking like right here, and then they can subconsciously make a decision if they want to further explore that or not. So that is something. Add to cart again can be tested out by making it sticky here. So this is great. Then you have some accessories. Okay, and this is okay.
One thing I'm
Product.
going to call out really quickly before you continue, Jody, sorry to interrupt, but if you ever run into a situation where, let's say you have more than, Shopify's 100 variants, which I think they just upped. But if a lot of times what people have to do is they have to kind of hard code or, use some sort of app to link to a different product entirely. Inside of Replo, we have, when someone clicks on an item, we have an update the product interaction. And what's great about that is you can have one page that has all of your variants. So it's very common in clothing, for example, where you have a lot of different colors and sizes, and you typically go, exceed the 100 variant limit. It's a great use case for Replo's update product. So you can stay on the same page and you're not having to reload the page. It doesn't take additional time. It makes that shopping experience just a little bit more seamless. So I didn't want to call that out. I think that's a great feature. It's underutilized. So I wanted to make sure that was something everyone was aware of that's possible to do inside of Replo whenever you're building PDPs and landing pages as well.
Great. One more thing I just noticed is that the information that they have present here is actually a three-part. We are also covering 360-degree protection here. What's great about it as well here. This is not super intuitive on the mobile experience. On desktop, of course, it is exposed and no chance to miss it. But this is something that you might choose and test by placing it one after the other rather than having it in carousel, because these are extra clicks that is asking for my extra effort, right? And it is super easy to miss. So this is something that you can do here. Further, from the Moose community, you're able to show the images, etc., which is great. Reviews, which is again great. Um, yeah, product details and specifications. I think here we can use, so specifications is all right. Frequently asked questions. All right. Frequently asked questions right now are, I think, super technical and are more related to the compatibility and the difference. What you could also add is very basic questions. Okay, what level? Is there a guarantee warranty? Are there shipping? What is the shipping policy, return policy, etc.? Or what is the compatibility with any type of other devices that you might be offering in here, right? So all of those hesitations that users are having, they expect to see that put together in a frequently asked questions. This is the behavior that we have seen time and again. So you might consider including more questions here, even if they are super generic to the brand or the business in itself. Specifically to product details, I think these are very product led right now and not customer focused. So maybe tweak this in a language which is more user oriented and not product oriented, right? So how you created this section, this is something which you can actually adapt for the entirety of your copy style in general, because it is talking about how this product is different, what level of protection that this product can have. It is actually telling me, and as a user, if someone tells me, if I see on a page that, okay, you must be dropping your phone 10 times a day from different places, right? And I will be quickly resonating it that, okay, yes, that's me. You are talking to me, and no
I drop my
other
phone 10
level of
times a day.
relationship more than that. So that is something which you need to bring in here rather than talking about more product. Talk about how a user's life is going to be beneficial, will be benefited here. So yeah, this is on the product page from my side. Let's quickly click on the cart. Okay, select a device, done. All right. Review cart. Same here as well. Let's add some assurances which user can quickly have a look at, and which removes their hesitations. Maybe you can A/B test with a drawer cart as well, because right now, of course, this is the space which you can further utilize if there was a drawer cart or if you were landing directly to a cart page, right? So there is a lot more real estate that you can utilize to include those things. Uh, then we click on review cart and then we are not landing onto the cart page. I think this is one extra step. Either remove that cart window or remove this step and directly take people to the checkout section, because right now we are increasing the number of funnel steps before people are able to reach to the checkout section. So this is something which can be resolved very quickly and you can test it how it is impacting you. And then finally we have the checkout. Is it a Shopify Plus store? Okay. All right. Yeah. So if it is a Shopify Plus store, then again, then that is great because you can experiment a lot in here. This hero section, we saw for the other website as well. You can creatively use this space to include social proof, to include maybe your customer support email or phone number if people have a lot of questions, etc., because it also kind of adds little credibility. You can add a link to your facts here as well, figure out what is most important to you, then test out if making this exposed by default or collapsed by default, what difference does it make. You can test it out. At the express checkout options, you can see which are the options which are being used the most. If something is not is seldomly used, then of course hide them, no need to have them. One thing I'm also noticing that you have not switched to the one page checkout yet. If your store is eligible, brands are observing more and more uptick in the conversion rate after moving to the one page checkout. So maybe you can consider switching to that. First of all, that could be your first to do on the checkout side of things. Yeah. And then if what sorry. Yes,
Oh
Sanjay.
no, looks like they are about to switch over to one page checkout. I just from what I've seen talking to Replo customers, it is a crazy uptick in conversion going to one page checkout. So that's, yeah, highly recommend if you can do it.
Right, that's right. And then even on the one-page checkout, when you move KP, then you can include elements somewhere at the bottom when there is a final CTA of making the payment, right? Something like, okay, why 100,000 people trust us? Then lay out some reasons. So those kinds of things also enable them to further make that final decision and take their credit card out. Because, I mean, these are the things that you can actually try out and see what really works for you and not having a plain checkout with just the form fields. And that's all from my side for most.
Incredible. I mean, I will say if you want to go see like a best in class Shopify plus checkout, Obvi, I think it's myobvi.com, OBVI. They're the supplement company. They do a lot of collagen products. They have done every direct response, tactic in the playbook on their checkout. They've, made use of all the space available, the way they've branded it, but also trust badges. If you can communicate something with an image, like for your shipping policy, for example, your guarantee, your return rates, highly recommend you do so. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely that's a great one to reference.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Well, that gets us to time. Jolie, thank you so much for going so deep on these two sites today. Again, if your site was not reviewed, feel free to drop the URL in. Jolie will be able to send a one-on-one update, a quick recording, basically what she went through here. We will package this up, make sure this gets posted publicly so everyone can view, so you can go back and reference the things. If you have any specific questions about how to use Replo to bring these changes to life, feel free to reach out to me. It's just my first name, Sanjay, Sanjay at replo.app, or hit me up in our Slack. But yeah, this is fantastic, Jolie. Thank you so much for your time today and the thoroughness with which you did these CRO teardowns.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
And thank you so much to everyone in the audience for sticking around, for asking questions. We couldn't do this without you. It's always nice to actually use like real sites and provide real value in real time. So again, thank you so much for watching. We are excited to continue doing this. We'll be doing this, at least once a month going forward. So if you didn't get your questions answered today, don't worry. There will be opportunities in the future. And I'll make sure to share your information with Jolie so she can reach out directly if you have any additional questions that you want to ask her.